If your migraines get worse around your period or around ovulation, or they just seem to follow your monthly cycle like clockwork, you are not imagining this. You are not broken as well. And here's the most important thing to know: it is absolutely not just the hormones, it's something much deeper. And when you understand what's actually happening inside your nervous system, everything changes. I'm Dr. Kevin Wissman. I'm a doctor of pharmacy. I'm board certified pharmacotherapy specialist and a former clinical pharmacist who worked both in academia as a researcher, but also on the clinical side in the clinic, helping people with these chronic conditions like migraines. And I spent years working inside the medical system, watching women just like you get handed the pills, the patches, and really just a pat on the back saying, good luck, and you probably have to live with this. Today, I'm going to show you the science that your doctor has probably never explained to you. Not because they don't care about you, but because this is genuinely not what they were taught in school or in residency. So stick with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to understand your own biology in a way that you will completely change how you see your migraines and how you'll be able to not just manage them, but fix them for good. Just before we go deep in on this subject, if you're learning something new from this channel here, maybe something that you've never heard before, do me a favor and just hit that like and subscribe button below. You'll get fed all of our videos so that you can actually learn what's going on and fix this for yourself. I put out neuroscience-backed migraine videos and content every single week, and I want to make sure that the algorithm feeds it to you so that it shows it to the right women who need it most. It takes 2 seconds, and it genuinely helps you and I and everyone else that hasn't found our videos yet. And if you want to go even deeper, I have a free masterclass for you that's linked in the description and on our page or our profile. Women tell us that it's the first time anyone has ever actually explained what's going on with their migraines. So check it out. It's completely free. You'll really love it. Okay, so let's do this. First, I want to acknowledge something. If you've been tracking your cycle and noticing your migraines cluster around your period or around ovulation, you've probably brought this up to your doctor, and chances are you've heard something like, that's just how it is for some women. Your estrogen drops before your period and it triggers your migraines. Here's the birth control pill. I hope it works. Or maybe they recommend trying magnesium because that helps with your hormones. And maybe that helped a little, or maybe it didn't. Or maybe it helped for a little while, but then it stopped working like most things do. And here's why that happens. Those answers, those solutions are treating the hormone like the fire. They're not seeing what lit the match in the first place. Your hormones, they're absolutely real. The estrogen drop is completely real. But here's what nobody is talking about. Why is your brain and nervous system so sensitive to that hormonal shift in the first place? That is the real question, and that's what we're going to answer today. Okay, so think of your nervous system like this electrical panel in your house. Every single circuit in your body, your hormones, your gut, your immune system, your pain sensitivity, your whole nerve receptors, all of these things run through that electrical panel. And when that electrical panel is functioning properly, everything runs smoothly. The lights turn on, the appliances work, temperature stays regulated. But when the panel is overloaded, when it's been running too many circuits for too long, things start to malfunction. The lights flicker, the breakers trip, the whole system becomes unstable. That's what a dysregulated nervous system looks like. And for most women with hormonal migraines, that's exactly what's happening. There's this tiny region in your brain, and it's called the hypothalamus. Scientists have nicknamed it the master regulator of the body, and for good reason. The hypothalamus, it controls your hormone production. Yes, part of your brain controls your hormone production. It also controls your body temperature, it controls your sleep, it controls your hunger, it controls your stress response as well. And here's the big kicker. It also controls your pain signals and your migraine signals. It is the thermostat that keeps your entire biology in your body in balance. Now, here's what's fascinating and what most doctors never connect for you. That hypothalamus in your brain, it's directly wired into something called your autonomic nervous system. That is the part of your nervous system that operates below your conscious awareness. It's just automatically working for you. That is the part that controls whether you're in fight or flight or if you're in rest and digest. So when your nervous system is chronically stuck in what we call a sympathetic overdrive or oversensitive or fight or flight, that's what we start to call dysregulation. And when that happens, your hypothalamus, that main thermostat, is also dysregulated. And a dysregulated hypothalamus means dysregulated hormones. It means erratic estrogen, volatile progesterone swings, cortisol that runs super high for a long time in your body, whether you realize it or not. That whole orchestra, it all falls under the category of the hypothalamus controlling it. Let's talk about estrogen specifically, because this is where the science gets really eye-opening for you. Estrogen is not just a reproductive hormone. It is what we call a neuromodulator, meaning it directly affects your brain and your nervous system and your whole body and how it processes pain. So estrogen actually raises your threshold for pain sensitivity, which means when your estrogen is high, your nervous system is naturally somewhat buffered from pain, less likely to have a migraine attack. And when that estrogen drops, like right before your period or right before ovulation, you have your sharpest drop of all, that buffer goes away, your threshold shrinks, and it's easier for your nervous system to flip over into migraine mode. Now, every woman's estrogen drops before her period. We know that. It's completely normal. It's just normal physiology. But here's the critical difference when it comes to migraines and headaches. A regulated nervous system handles that drop, whereas a dysregulated nervous system gets detonated by it. It sets off all of the panic alarms, the false alarms, also known as migraine. So think of it like this. Imagine two people standing at the edge of a pool. One is calm, one is balanced, they're centered, their weight is perfectly distributed. That other person is already teetering, they're off balance, they're tensed up around the pool. Now imagine someone taps both of them on the shoulder with the exact same amount of force. That calm person, they might sway a little bit, but they slowly respond, they barely notice. Whereas that person that's off balance and teetering, they fall in the pool, they panic. They have this really big reaction and they fall over into the pool. Both taps are identical on the people, in the exact same way that the hormonal drop is the exact same in both women. But their nervous system's baseline was completely different. That drop in estrogen is not the enemy. A sensitized, a dysregulated nervous system is what is the real problem. It's what turns a normal hormone fluctuation into a 3-day migraine. This is just so important, and no one is actually talking about this. This is why treating hormones alone or adjusting your pill or adding a patch or avoiding or even taking supplements to improve your hormones, they never fully work because the nervous system continues to get worse. I mean, we have to change the baseline, the nervous system, and how it responds, considering the nervous system is what's causing your symptoms. Okay, if this is intriguing you or interesting you, let's go another level deeper into this neuroscience here. So there's a phenomenon in migraine and headaches called central sensitization. This is a real, measurable neurological change that happens in the brain of people with frequent headaches or frequent migraines. If you've been following me at all, you've probably heard this analogy, but here's the analogy that I want you to remember to connect this medical term to a picture or an imagination. So imagine your pain system. It has a volume knob, like a radio. In a healthy person with a regulated non-sensitive nervous system, that knob, it's turned to maybe a 3 or a 4 out of 10. That's where we want it. That's how music sounds. It should sound good that way. So maybe like a hormone drop in your estrogen or progesterone, or even something else like a different trigger, like a bright light or a glass of wine or chocolate or pressure change with the weather changing. Your nervous system or that dial registers this as background noise. It doesn't even make it to the migraine threshold. Or a lot of people like the cup theory, where all these triggers are things that are getting poured into a cup, and eventually the cup overflows that causes a migraine. Same thing here. Hormone drops or hormone shifts are just things filling up the cup. Maybe it's something that fills the cup up a lot, but when your nervous system or your cup is small, it can't handle those shifts. And so then think in a sensitized nervous system. But someone with a sensitive nervous system, their cup is really small, or that volume knob has been cranked up to a 9 out of 10. Suddenly, everything is just so much louder. Everything hits harder. Your triggers hit harder. Like a normal hormonal fluctuation that your body should coast through, instead it triggers your trigeminal nerve, which is the main pain signaling nerve in your head, and it sends it into this full scale alarm response, causing all of your migraine attacks. And here's the thing about the trigeminal nerve. It is directly connected to the hypothalamus. You remember that thermostat that runs and controls everything? Yeah, hormonal dysregulation and pain sensitization, they are speaking the exact same language. This is also why women with hormonal migraines often become more sensitive to other triggers too, whether it's stress or poor sleep or sleep changes or even alcohol or certain foods. It's not that those triggers are getting stronger, it's that your threshold is getting lower and your nervous system's getting more sensitive to them. That is central sensitization. You're not more fragile. It's just that your nervous system volume is turned up too high. And so here's the most important thing that I want you to hear. That volume knob, it can be turned back down. This is completely backed by neuroscience. You just need to actually have tools that do that versus tools like medications or devices that are treating the symptoms, but not the nervous system that's causing the symptoms. I want to add one more piece to the puzzle that is almost never talked about in migraine circles, but it's absolutely incredibly important for hormonal migraines specifically. And that comes down to your liver and your gut. Your liver and your gut are responsible for metabolizing and clearing all of your reproductive hormones after your body uses them. Think of it like your drainage system. So estrogen gets used, it needs to be properly broken down, or what we call metabolized, and then eliminated from your body. The reason this is important and necessary is so that it doesn't recirculate in your bloodstream. You see, when that drainage system is working well, your hormonal transitions are smooth. Estrogen rises, it does its job, and then it drops and clears cleanly without a sharp rise or sharp drop. But when your nervous system is in a chronic fight or flight, or what we call sympathetic overdrive state, in that state, your body is prioritizing survival. It's sending all of its blood flow to other organs to just keep it alive. It's rerouting resources away from your digestive tract or your gut and away from your liver, your detoxification center, because those centers are nice to have functions, but not necessary when your nervous system thinks it's in danger in a fight or flight state chronically. And so think about it. The result of this is that your hormones don't clear efficiently. They accumulate, they fluctuate more wildly than they should. And then your already sensitive nervous system reacts to those wild swings with exactly what you'd expect, a migraine. And not only do those wild swings cause the migraine, it confuses your thermostat, your hypothalamus, because the temperature jumps up really high, then it drops down, and it just goes haywire. It panics as well. So now I know that you can see it's not just your estrogen or your progesterone. It's the nervous system controlling how estrogen is produced, how it functions in your brain and your body, and how it's cleared from your body. Every step of that process is influenced by the state of your nervous system and that hypothalamus. Okay, so let me bring this all together because I don't want you to walk away from this video feeling defeated. I want you to walk away feeling something that you maybe haven't felt in a really long time, which is feeling informed, feeling hopeful or optimistic, and feeling empowered. So here's what the neuroscience tells us. Your brain is fixed. Your brain, your body, your hormones, they are not fixed. This is not a permanent problem. The science of neuroplasticity, which is your brain's ability to physically change or rewire itself, it's one of the most revolutionary discoveries in modern neuroscience. And your brain has been building and reinforcing these migraine pathways, these pain pathways, this oversensitive pattern in your nervous system. And it's probably been doing it for years, if not decades. I mean, every single time that your nervous system fired in that pattern, it got a little easier to fire again next time. There's a very common saying in the neuroscience world: neurons that fire together wire together. That is the neuroplasticity principle. But here's the other side of the story. Neurons that no longer fire together stop wiring together. So when you learn to regulate your nervous system and when you teach your body to come out of that chronic fight or flight or sympathetic state, you are literally changing the physical structure and the sensitivity of your whole body's nervous system and your brain. You're turning that volume knob back down. Your hypothalamus, it begins to regulate more smoothly. Your hormonal transitions, they become less explosive. Your trigeminal nerve, it stops treating these normal fluctuations as emergencies. And then your pain threshold rises and you start to have less migraines. And eventually the goal is to have none at all. This is not some alternative medicine philosophy. This is peer-reviewed science. This is what I built the entire Tame the Migraine program on. And it's why our clients see absolutely amazing results that their neurologists never even thought were possible. And it's all because they were first taught. And the big reason that doctors, they don't even want to listen is because they weren't taught this. They were taught to manage migraines. What we are teaching you is to change your brain, the brain that creates the migraines. If this video helped you make sense of something that you've been living with for years or decades, I'm genuinely glad. I really want you to share this with someone who needs to hear it, whether it's a friend, a sister, or just someone in a migraine Facebook group that you're in who's still being told just take the triptan or you have to live with it. I mean, not only you, but everyone in the world deserves to know this information and that it exists and that they can get better. And if you want more content like this, whether it's neuroscience or nervous system education, and really what the real root cause strategies for migraines are, I again encourage you, hit that subscribe button below, like the video. I put out a new video every single week. This community is just growing so fast and it's full of women who are finally getting the answers. And if you're ready beyond this, from just going from like understanding the science and you actually want to do something about it, like I said earlier in the video, we have a free masterclass that's going to be linked to this video. It'll be in our profile. As long as you look us up online, go to our website, you will find this free masterclass. Just like these YouTube videos, it's probably the deepest free training that I offer. And it will walk you through exactly how our migraine reset and rewire system approaches the work and how to fix this once and for all, including the hormonal issues. There really isn't a subtype of migraine this doesn't work for. I mean, even extreme cases like hemiplegic migraine, we've seen people go from going to the emergency room once a month, every single month, to completely migraine free. So after watching this video, when you understand that the nervous system and the hypothalamus controls everything, you start to understand that whatever type of migraine you have, whether it's vestibular or traditional or hemiplegic or hormonal, underneath that, the root or whatever's running the full show is your nervous system. We've got to fix that first. You've lived with this long enough. You deserve to understand it, and you deserve to be free from it. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.